Hello. I'm not sure how fascinating or how uh, audible this one's going to be. Not wearing my headphones. They're upstairs. We're packing up to take a day or two over at the archipelago before the kids go back to school next week. So it's not really, all that fascinating or insightful a video that I have in mind this time. My thoughts are full. Plenty of things. I talked about fascism a couple of years ago with a friend who was puzzled as to why I was not holding forth on this topic as he would have expected I would. And I had an interesting answer for him. Perhaps I'll regale you with that later. Not today, though. Other insights concern just minor bits of living here. Most of it has to do with more traffic insights. I may have talked about this, and I suppose I'm very ordinary in calling attention to it. And I know Sweden's not the only place where this is the case, but there do seem to be a wide range of this one variable. There does seem to be a wide range of this one variable across the world. And I'm talking about pedestrian traffic across streets. Now, as a veteran of Swedish driver's license training, I can tell you that you are to keep a sharp eye out for pedestrians and bicycles using the crosswalks. They go first. That's all. You stop. It's a stop sign. It's not an option. It is just the way it is. So, anyways, it's quite interesting being here for a couple of years because from an American urban background, um, having lived in Chicago for quite a long time before coming here, well, you step into the crosswalk at your peril and you look up and down and you make sure nobody is coming, and basically you don't really use crosswalks. You just kind of walk across in them because they're there, but it has no protective value. You have no status in the crosswalk. You are very rude. I mean, you walk in front of an oncoming car, the driver will be furious, and you can count yourself lucky if you're not, run down and slain, and then the driver will get a high five from everybody because of how stupid you were, or will be sympathized with because they had to screech to a halt while you ruined their driving experience. And so, anyway, here in Sweden, that means that, I stop at the edge of the street, not stepping into the crosswalk, and I look fearfully down the street and see if any car is within, half a kilometer. And, the drivers are kind of looking at me puzzled. They're like, what on earth is wrong with you? You can go, And so, anyway, I'm equally terrified when I'm walking along and I see some other pedestrian blithely stride into the crosswalk with nary a care. Now, granted, it's always good to kind of peep once, and a number of people here do a quick check. The car's really close, or maybe somebody's turning into this spot and hasn't seen you or something. A lot of the cyclists will slow down a little bit and kind of do just a quick check. Maybe they know there's a lot of drivers who are relatively new to the country, or visitors who are driving on their foreign licenses and aren't properly oriented, and so they practice just a little bit of risk assessment. But really, I mean, they're not losing much momentum. They're not really prepared to stop, and they know that it's their go. When they approach the intersection, they don't really have to slow down. They don't have to look. It's really on the drivers. So a lot of people don't. So it's really interesting to just watch people, sail across the intersections at the busiest streets that otherwise are at considerable, high speed limits. And the drivers just know, as you approach one of these places, you look. You're supposed to slow down and look no matter what. And let's see, I think I'm kind of in the transitional phase. And I see this, in other people. I see this in other people who are, at a guess, also living here, but aren't fully, I don't think I'll ever I could be living here for decades. I don't think I'm ever going to lose that sort of American terror of the oncoming car. And anyway, though, I'm kind of at this transitional or intermediate phase where you you don't stop, you do look. Your primary sensation is of caution, overwhelming caution, and you kind of have to steel yourself to step into the intersection in front of the oncoming vehicle, which has not as of yet come to a stop. And so therefore you're really trusting to the driver to actually stop. And you really do feel a certain, okay, I'm supposed to be able to do this. I sure hope they know that sort of feeling. And of course they typically do, and they don't blink twice. You'll very occasionally, get a pedestrian or a cyclist, having seen that you've slowed down and are stopped or are preparing to stop, throw you a nod or something. But it's very much not an, oh, thank God you're such a kind person. Thank you so much for inconveniencing yourself for me. That's not that kind of wave or look at all. It's like, hey, we're all citizens together, kind of a nod, and that's what you get. And it's or nothing. I mean, the default is nothing. They know you're supposed to stop. I don't have to thank you for that. Thank you for obeying the law. Yeah, you're right. So anyway, that's just a detail here. And I know there are places that are perhaps more dangerous than the states along these lines. I know there are places that vary in the states about this, but I also know there are plenty of places to live that are more like this. It's a real difference in the walking around. Cycling is the hardest because now I cycle a lot more. And it was a bit of a transition to be able to just sort of walk without breaking stride. Yeah, slow a little, but not breaking stride, to just go straight into traffic across on foot. Doing so on a bike, wow. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to that. I am the nervous Nelly of cyclists approaching one of these intersections where I'm supposed to not break speed. I'm supposed to just zip on through, and that will minimize my impact on the car traffic. And the cars are to stop. They just are. I don't care how many cars are behind them. I don't care anything. And so but getting used to that, I'm not even into the intermediate phase. I am in terror phase for that one. I do it because I know if I stop, I actually disrupt traffic, because they stop for no reason and everybody gesticulates, you can go, that kind of thing. But you're not supposed to do that. But it's real hard. You're coming up on it and you're like, there are cars coming and I am a bicycle. And then you say, oh yeah, wait, but it's my road. I do own the road. I'm supposed to own this road. Here goes. Right. So anyway, that's sort of my experience. Be interested to see if anyone else goes through this or if I'm just strange or whatever. But a bit of Sweden. Oh, and the veggies backyard, unbelievable. We are getting everything. We got the zucchini, we got the broccoli, we got the corn, we got the potatoes, the rhubarb. I mean, everything is just like booming in the backyard, and we don't even have like awesome soil or anything. So just a bit of tending, and we've just got this cornucopia. And let's see, there was one other aspect of that. Oh yes, well, of course, I keep bragging on the apples, and they're just smirking at us. We're almost ripe, kind of a look. But everywhere across the whole neighborhood, across town in general, I mean, people have a lot of apple trees around here, and you can just see them all just getting ready to give forth. Well, there we are. Kind of a nice little Friday Live. I hope all is well. Have a great weekend, and good luck on all things.